Yay Networks.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Spill the Beans podcast.
Guys, we have to apologize for a bit here because Jonathan said that we were going to upload the gender reveal here soon. And we didn't. And I know we always start with this topic, but it's because you guys, every single comment, every story, every video that I post, they're just talking about where's the gender reveal, girl. Like, you're beating around the bush. And I just want to let you guys know briefly that we don't know the gender. I don't know what happened to our results, but apparently our doctor doesn't have them. So we're still waiting to hear back from them. But as soon as we find out...
Yeah, our hospital's being really annoying, babe. Just call it what it is. They called us, hey, your results came back. Everything's okay. Okay, bye. We call them again. Hey, by the way, can you tell us the gender or put it in an envelope? We don't have your results. Oh, but then how do you know everything's okay? I don't know. We can't seem to find them. Wow. Okay, hang up. Boom. So that's what's going on, guys. It's really frustrating because literally, this is so embarrassing, but we set up the camera. We sat down. We were like, okay, we were going to finally film our gender reveal because we were going to go the intimate route and then surprise our families. And then we had it all ready. We log into the portal. Boom. Results are not like you can't click on them. They're not clickable.
We have 30-minute footage of us just sitting there like with a huge smile on our face with nothing happening.
Yeah.
So you guys know that as soon as we find out, you guys will find out. Our last gender reveal, we found out Jonathan edited all day and then uploaded the next day. So you guys know we don't keep things that long.
Guys, you know us. You know us. I don't if I don't like YouTubers to do it to me, why am I gonna do it to you? You know, as soon as we find out, we edit it, boom, 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 bust it out. That's what we're known for. Go check out the comments on our last videos if you don't believe us. But yeah,
even my freaking labor and delivery vlog, I edited and uploaded at the hospital. So we're not keeping anything from you. We don't know the gender, but we will hear soon. And hopefully by the next podcast, you guys will know too.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, we're back and we're better.
Yes, honestly, I feel
Just kidding.
We're back in the swing of things sometimes. I like to show up and just film, but these last couple of weeks have been so crazy. And I know that people are like, wow, we get it. Like, everyone goes through crap, and you know, we do too. But these last couple of weeks were hard, guys. And it's just our main goal and priority right now is to upload a podcast, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing I care about today. It's just getting this done, guys, so we can... God bless our editors and our team, because if I had to still record, do the ads, and then on top of that edit it, and then on top of that do everything else, I would not. I just wouldn't.
There would be no
You
podcast.
guys would not have had to spill the beans in at least 3 months. Just being honest with you, okay? Go find someone. No, I'm kidding.
Just kidding.
We love you guys, and honestly, it's not even spill the beans no mas. Like, we've neglected everything. Like, right now, literally 10 minutes ago, I got off the phone with our printing company, and I was like, hey, I want to do a restock for the little cow crew necks. And then I was like, I would like to place. She's like, you already did place the restock. I was like, really? I don't remember. She's like, no, yes, honey. Like, they're literally on their way. They're almost done. And I was like, oh, like, I didn't even know that I restocked my own sweaters, guys. So just letting you know.
Yeah, life gets a little hectic here and there. But anyways, we're back, and we're glad that you guys show up every Friday for us, and that you guys let us know in the comments that you love watching us. So thank you so much. We love doing this for you. And today, what are we talking about, babe?
Guys, today we're going to answer a lot of your guys' advice. You've submitted so many recently, and I feel like we just give you updates, or we talk about other things, our toxic past. But we kind of, last time we should have talked about our toxic past and then maybe answered some emails.
Yeah.
That way we could have helped some of you guys. But yeah, every time we talk about our toxic past, I feel like that triggers a lot of you guys to DM us your questions. So we're gonna do that today. Hopefully get a kick out of it.
Yeah, you guys were cracking up at our freaking story last week. And I feel like more people thought that the Blizzard story was funnier than the freaking getting out of the truck. Yeah. Because that was probably a new one that no one has heard.
But I didn't.
The blizzard
well, let's just say I did it. Then I just go like that. I'm hungry all day. I'm like, damn, maybe I should have.
He's like, fuck the blizzard. I didn't even want a blizzard.
Okay. Vamos, corre corriendo con. I'm also a Gemini like Jonathan. Just like you, I was toxic. I would get angry and pick a fight with him. Heartbroken emoji. We started dating when I was 17 years and he was 19. I had a lot of mommy issues and I would take it out on my husband, who is a Libra. He was like Blanca, more calm and patient with me. Obviously, with time, I changed. He helped me get through it and face my mom. I stopped being toxic, and my husband never gave up on us. Now we're in our 30s, loving life as parents.
Oh, that's crazy.
I know this isn't advice or she wasn't asking for it, but you know what I also wanted to do, babe?
What?
I just wanted to read more positive things every week, you know, because I
Yeah.
feel like we're just getting to toxic, negative things. And every once in a while, guys, this is I'm also asking this to everyone listening. Just DM us some happy shit. Hey, I got a raise today at work. I got promoted. I got accepted into the college I've always been wanting to. My mom is cancer free. Like, DM us this stuff too, guys, and we'll read them, okay?
That's awesome.
I just wanted to read this one for all my Geminis out there that like
Geminis.
that there's hope for us, you know.
Dude, honestly, God bless anybody that is dating or is married to a Gemini, because it's a whirlwind. It's crazy. Wouldn't recommend.
You want to read this one?
Yeah. Hi guys, I would love your opinion on something going on. I'm a US citizen and I have been married to my husband 7 years. We have 2 kids together, a house, cars, and everything has been good. He is responsible and loving and a patient dad. We're going through this immigration process right now since yo le estoy arreglando. He has DACA for now, but he got a permit to go outside the country and come back legally, so hopefully he doesn't have to go to Juarez to get his interview. But I'm being so insecure about it since I have heard so many stories of people getting papers and changing completely in the relationship. I could be exagerada because I'm so insecure and he's a friendly and outgoing person.
Girl, you just gotta go through it.
Yeah, I feel like you're overthinking it, and by the looks of it, like, he hasn't raised up any red flags. So if your insecurity is just coming from like, we've been together for 7 years, he hasn't had papers, like everything's been good, then I don't think that you should be worried about it. Just go through it. Honestly, just go through life and see what it gives you. Because if you guys have had a happy relationship for 7 years, then this should only make it happier and not ruin it, you know? So just put your faith that everything will turn out good.
What she said. Hi guys, if you get to read my message, please keep me anonymous. Of course. I'm going through what feels the worst part of my life. 3 years ago, I found out my husband was cheating on me. I forgave him and gave him a second chance. He never left that woman. He kept looking for her, and they would still meet up. This woman knew about me, but since he would tell her that we had nothing other than sharing the same roof, she stayed. Now she sent messages telling me how unworthy I am for not being able to keep him because I am so boring in bed. We never really tried anything new, always the same old school sex. Once in a while, if I dressed sexy, but the main part was I didn't like giving him oral sex. I kicked him out as soon as I found out he was still with this woman. And now he doesn't stop telling me how boring I am sexually, and I will always ruin the next man because of that. Is this true? I'm in my 30s, and he was my one and only high school sweetheart. And now I know this woman was not the only one it cut off.
That is so stupid.
Yeah.
I feel like
Find you a
definitely
man that doesn't care about that stuff, okay?
not even that. Like, he's just looking for an excuse, first of all, to put the blame on you and for him to excuse his shitty behavior. So no, it's not because you're boring in bed. If you're boring in bed, he's gonna be like, hey babe, do you want to try something new? Hey babe, I know that you don't like giving me oral sex, but what about if we compromise and like once in a while I put freaking jelly or strawberry flavored lube on my thing, and we have and you can do it, you know? Like, this is a communication thing. This isn't a
and
problem.
the girl messaging you is so stupid. She thinks she's really doing something. Like, girl, you're just describing yourself as getting used.
Yeah.
Like, the husband's just using you, the side chick, as a mouth thing for himself. Like, he doesn't love you either.
Literally, if everything was good and the only thing that he needed was not boring sex, that is an easy fix, baby. You know what? I want to use a butt plug. I want you to poke my butt. You know, like, that's something that you can just have a conversation about. That's not like, you know, you're so boring in bed, I'm gonna go cheat on you. That's so stupid. Don't let both of them put you down like that. Don't even put attention to that. He's just trying to find an excuse, and please don't feel down about that, because first of all, guys are, like Jonathan has always explained this, guys are so easy. All they need is sex, right? So if you're giving it to him
and scratchies
if you're giving it to him and he's still going out cheating on you, it's fine. You saved yourself from a lifetime of BS. This episode is sponsored by Betterhelp.
Babe, have you ever felt like you know the right thing to do, but just like your brain is not letting you do it?
I feel like that every day of my life, literally.
That's how I was when I knew I needed to get therapy the last time we broke up. I was toxic. I had anger issues. I had anxiety. And I was like, I know I need help, but it's not a very manly thing to like go get therapy, you know? So thankfully I did, because therapy helps you figure out what's holding you back so you can work for yourself instead of against yourself.
And with that being said, guys, I love therapy because literally if it wasn't for therapy, we wouldn't be here right now. So I have a very special place in my heart for it.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge.
Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp.
Visit betterhelp.com/spillthebeans today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/spillthebeans.
Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/spillthebeans.
Okay, so you guys know that the ones that listen to the podcast frequently, you know that last week we talked about intuition and how like the numerology, because I was born on the 11th, we're supposed to have like really strong intuition, like that gut feeling, for those that don't know what intuition means. So I saw a comment, one of you guys said, you know, you can like really like hone in on this. Like if you really feel like you have a strong intuition, you can kind of like practice it and meditate it and like really get better at it. So I was like, okay, you know, like, so what did I do? I literally went on the sports betting app and I was like, I'm gonna bet on football and I'm just gonna go based off my intuition. So that's what I did. And like, I literally bet on like 6 games, guys. And I was just like, just things that my gut would tell me. Like, I don't care what the teams were, who was projected to win or to lose. I was doing what I thought my heart felt right. And guys, I got every single bet right. I will keep you updated, and I will do this every week, every Sunday when there's football, and to see how long I can keep this going, because you never know what the government has been hiding from us, guys. What if we all have something? What, like, don't you think that gut feeling is like, what if we could like master it and trust it, you know? Like, yeah. Do you ever go to like a house party when you guys were younger, or a party or whatever, and you're like, I don't feel good about this. Like, something's bad is going to happen. And sure enough, something bad happens. Like, I don't think that's coincidence. I don't think those are accidents, guys. Like, I think we were born and through evolution, we've developed a gut feeling. Like back when the cavemen were hunting and they would go into this cave and they would get this feeling of like, I think we're in danger. There could be a bear in here. And boom, sure enough, there would be a bear and they'd get it all eaten. I think we've evolved through this and we do have something called a gut feeling.
I don't know. I feel like I've always thought Jonathan was crazy because one, he would say things and then they would come true. Or we would talk about something. He'd be giving me advice or something. I usually go to him when I'm like stressed out on making a decision on something. And everything he says, even if it's not what I want to hear at the moment, I'm like, oh shit, baby, you're right. You know? So I've just learned to let him live through it. And it's like, if we put it into God's perspective, I remember going to youth group and every single time our preacher would say, like, cada quien tiene su don, you know? And I feel like that's yours, like just intuition. Yeah. And it's helped you a lot in life. It's helped you a lot. It's helped you help people. So.
But it's also a curse. Like I've told you, I was like, I don't like how, like this. I don't like you guys, this is so cringe, but do you remember Twilight? And how they each have a power. Yeah. And Jasper, Alice's husband, he can, like, when he touches someone, he can feel their emotions. Yeah. I can feel that, guys. I swear to God, I can feel people's emotions. So, like, if I see that a waitress or a waiter is having I can feel that they're not all right mentally. Like, I leave a bigger tip. Or if something, like, I just, like, I don't know. And that's why I feel like I have a really sweet spot for kids with disabilities. Yeah. Because I can just feel like I don't know, I feel something, and I know they're not sad. I know the kids with like Down syndrome, I've heard like testimonies on TikTok. They're some of the happiest people, right? But I don't know, like I just feel, and I think that's my calling. I don't want this whole vibing thing, guys. It's not gonna end here. It's not gonna end with therapy. We're gonna expand so big one day. We're gonna help the whole world, and that's gonna include kids with disabilities, and I can't wait.
Yeah. I love that. I love that about you. I feel like a lot of people have their own things and no one really goes or like dives deep into them. And something Jonathan does is like he loves researching more things. So if he has a feeling of something, he just researches it. So every day I'm like met with something new that he found out about himself, which is really fun. But yeah, I do want to apologize for not having any more advice, but I did want to say that this week something crazy is happening.
What?
Jonathan's running his first half marathon.
Oh my God. Oh, we should talk about this because next podcast I'll be done.
Yeah.
Like I will maybe.
You'll be telling them how it went.
If I did it. Guys, I am running 13.1 miles on Saturday, half a marathon. And I know too, a lot of you guys are like, you don't really, because you're not runners or you just don't care about math. You're like, oh, 13 miles doesn't sound too bad. Can you please right now, if you're listening to this, go on Google and type in like 13 miles away from me or something like, or just type in somewhere where you think it's 13 miles away. And then you'll probably see that it says 5 and you're like, oh shit. Like, cause babe, from here to high school, my old high school, it's far, right?
Yeah, but it's 10 miles.
It's 9 miles.
And guys, mind you, Jonathan hasn't even attempted a 13-mile run.
Every morning when I take your sister to school, it tells me the trip on the car, like how long my trip was for that time. I don't know why I'm doing this, but guess what? Can we finally tell him? Has she said no? No?
No.
Guys, someone is coming out of town. You sure? I'm pretty sure she said something.
No.
Yeah.
No. I watch all her videos, honey.
No, but on Instagram.
No.
Okay, someone is coming, guys. One of our influencer friends. Can you guys comment who you think is going to come down? And can I say the second part to that? Why they're coming?
Well, no. Okay. So, you guys can guess in the comments who you think it is. But it's a very close friend of ours. And we love them very much. And it's so insane because if I tell you, I feel like they're going to know, babe.
Yeah. Cause
oh, well.
No.
Oh, well, they'll know tomorrow because it comes out Friday. So by tomorrow, they'll already be here.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically.
No, but you're not going to say the name, right?
No.
Okay.
So basically, I talk to my friend quite often, honestly, quite a lot. She's probably one of the friends I talk to the most. And I was telling her like, oh, I'm going to be running this half marathon, blah, blah, blah. This was back like 3 months ago, probably. And she was like, you know what? We would love to come down and cheer for you. Like, that is so amazing that you're doing that. And I would never do it, but I would love to come cheer you on. And I was like, of course, like, please come visit us. So that was a plan. And then about a month ago, I told her, I was like, hey, just run the 5K with me. Like, it's just a brief 3 miles. We'll run it. We'll jog it. And we should be done in about 35 minutes, nothing crazy. And she was like, you know what, maybe, but I think that my husband actually wants to run with Jonathan. And I was like, are you for sure? And then Jonathan was like, yeah, I wanted to ask him, but I'm very nervous. Like, what if he says no? So it all ended up happening that her husband is running with my husband the half marathon, and they're gonna come and they're gonna stay here and we're gonna have an amazing weekend. And yeah, guess in the comments, you guys have about 24 hours because by tomorrow you already know who it was.
First person to guess the couple, right? Friday morning in the YouTube comments, like first one, I'm just going to click newest comment. And the first person, when I scroll the way down to guess this couple, gets $50. Make sure you're following Spill the Beans Instagram. But I'm very proud of him, guys. Like legitimately, I've been training, not for this specific event, but I've just been running for like, let's say a few months now, outside. And he finally made up his mind to start, I'm going to do this half marathon probably a month ago, a month and a half at most. And he's about to run half a marathon, guys, with a month of preparation. And I'm very proud of him. He's brave. I
just feel like anybody starting their running journey is brave because running, you know what? It's not the vibes. It's freaking hard. It's terrible. but it's so freeing and it's so awesome, honestly. And can you even believe that you're gonna have bragging rights? Like, I ran half a marathon, and I don't care how much time I ran that shit.
Babe, I'm so scared. Like,
I know,
I'm nervous.
But you're gonna get runner's high at like mile 7 when you feel like you're gonna die. So you can just keep going.
It's all diet. Like, I've woken up feeling like shit.
Well, you've also haven't been going very hard, my boy. Guys, for the longest time, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna run it. I'm fucking. And then I just started getting into like the heart rate. And then one day I sat down and I told myself, do you really think that at 5 months pregnant, you're going to run for more than 3 hours? Because I'm not running that shit in less than 2 hours. You're going to run for more than 2 hours, try to keep your heart rate low, and you're probably not even going to finish it in the 4 hours that they give you. So I was like, I'm running the 5K, and you know, that's better than nothing. So I'll be there running with him, and we're just gonna have a great weekend. But I'm so excited. Like, for me, it's nerve-wracking for Jonathan because I know that it's hard. Like, 13 miles is insane, but I'm excited for like when you're done and you're gonna be like, oh shit, like I just did that, you know?
Yeah, last week I ran one in the mountains, just a 10K, which is it was like 6.8, and yeah, it was miserable, but I did get that high like around mile 5. So I like
the first 5 miles.
The last 2 miles were my like fastest. So I'm expecting maybe I get something like that.
Yeah, but something else that's good is that our last 2 races were trail races, so they're like hills and fucking they're terrible. And this race isn't a trail race. This is just
sure?
It's just pavement. So I think you'll be good.
Okay, guys, wish me luck down in the comments, please, guys. I'll need it. I'll be reading every single comment because you'll see. Follow me on Instagram to see if I finish it, because you never know. I literally followed this guy on TikTok. He was also training for his first half marathon, but he was like really good. He got down to like in the 8-minute miles consistently. And then I finally saw his TikTok, how I did on the half marathon, and I was invested. He's not a huge TikToker. He's like a few couple. He was
dying.
And he literally, he almost died.
Yeah.
They went and did studies on his heart, and he has it starts with an R. Right.
But didn't they have to like drag him out of the trail?
Yeah, he passed out. No, he passed out on the side because I watched his later TikTok, not the one that I showed you. He was passed out. They found him, and then they put him in the ambulance.
Oh my God, that is so terrifying.
So if that happened to him, guys, that he actually took his training seriously with supplements and stuff, he pushed himself way too hard in the Texas heat. They found him passed out on the side of the road, and he almost died.
That is
so imagine
scary.
my ass. Like, I'll probably start walking.
Well,
I ain't passing out, bro.
That's so funny.
I'll literally
so
call an Uber
excited.
in mile 8 and just Uber myself to the finish line, guys.
I'm so excited, guys. You have no idea. And it's just funny because like our day's gonna start at like 6 a.m. and not gonna end until freaking
But after that,
noon.
we can just chill with our friends. Maybe
oh my God, I have
film a podcast.
I have such good plan. Like, they're coming at the perfect time, guys. Like, looking outside, the trees are finally dying, which is sad, right? But they're starting to die. And by the time that they get here this weekend, it's gonna be fall. Like,
no, but in the mountains, it's even prettier.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I told her, I was like, dude, pack your fall outfits, girl. We're getting this fall content. It's going to be amazing. So I want to do all the fall things with them. I want to take them to a pumpkin patch, and well, that's basically, and then we can do like brunch dates, and it's going to be so exciting. So anyways, yeah, we're very excited. I literally follow a girl that ran the half marathon in how long? 2 hours? No, 3 hours and 40 minutes. Which was a full marathon in 3 hours and 40 minutes, and her pace was like 8:23
yeah.
For the entire time, mile 1 to mile
I can't even run 1 mile under 8 minutes.
She is insane, and I'm just like, after this baby's born, guys, I swear to God, I'm gonna go so hard into my running journey.
If we have a girl, I'm getting a vasectomy.
By the Boulderthon next year, I'm gonna be running that half marathon in 2 hours. I swear to God.
Oh damn, babe! You swore on God.
I swear to God, I'm gonna, babe. You have no idea, like, how
I believe you, babe.
I literally started my running journey the day I got pregnant. Like, my first day of pregnancy was the day that we started running. Yeah, no, it was when we just ran out here with Franco. Remember? Like, the first day I ran. But
you ran pregnant. Now that I think about Macintosh, we did almost 6 miles.
Pregnant. Really, I'm like, no freaking wonder I was dead. I was pale, fucking. Yeah. So yeah, by next Boulderthon, guys, you guys are gonna see me out there with a 7-month-old baby
and a toddler.
We're running in under 2 hours.
I
You
believe
heard
in
it
you,
here
babe.
first.
Manifest it. Okay?
I know, girl. I believe in myself. I don't need nobody else to believe in me.
Oh damn!
I'm gonna do
Guys,
that shit.
on the comment, don't say I don't believe. I don't believe. I don't believe.
It's gonna be so hard, but that's gonna be my goal. Not a marathon. A marathon, please give me like 2 years for that shit, because I could never. But half marathon, 2 hours next year. Boulderthon, be there or be square. Look, let's just be raw and real. Like, we're in Spill the Beans podcast, right? We spill the freaking tea.
Yeah.
And I know we try so hard, guys. We try so hard to like bring positivity and like be influencers in the way where we make your life better. We make your Fridays greater. I influence you to run and to be
Guys,
a good person. But you know, sometimes we go through shit, and I know we always talk about this, but like problems never just go away. Right? Like, if it's not one thing, it's another. And there's things that like heavily impact our day-to-day life, and things that we don't talk about because obviously we still have privacy. We still keep all of our problems. And I'm not talking about marital problems. Thank God we don't really have many of those anymore. But yeah, we've just been going through some things, and
Just say it, babe.
and honestly, well, little thotty. But and it unfortunately makes our work life harder. So today
guys.
showing up to the podcast was hard. It was really hard, especially because Franco woke up and not even like 40 minutes into his nap, which was not the vibes. Thankfully, right now he's fully asleep. But there's just a lot, and I know that you guys as parents probably understand, because having a kid and then being pregnant and then having to show up to work, like it's hard. And we love our podcast. It's our hobby and it's our job too, and we want to show up to it and leave our problems aside. But obviously, as you guys just saw right now, it heavily impacted our podcast because we're 26 minutes in and our minds are blank.
No, it's because like when we don't upload, guys, I know that some of you think you know our schedule, and like, yes, last week could we have squeezed the podcast out? Maybe. But at the end of the day, like, we have to prioritize, and this is a very bad example. I'm saying we always want to bust out the best content, and like us running out of right now is not a good example. But before today, I want to say every podcast we try to make it a banger, and like I don't want to get to the point where we just get on and just like do this every time.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's what I want to get to.
So today we should have taken off.
Yeah, we should.
But we're here.
And that's why the last 2 weeks we didn't have the podcast. Like, there was no podcast for 2 weeks, and it wasn't because we couldn't show up. We could have showed up and it would have been a real shitty podcast, you know? Yeah. So when we show up to podcasts, we want it to be something entertaining, something that you're going to get good out of, and not like this where you're like, well, they're all over the place kind of. But I feel like a lot of people are all over the place most of the time. So you know what? Thankfully, it's October. It's the start of our favorite month. Franco, can we just say he is a toddler and he is entering his curiosity era and his very fearless era. So yesterday we took him to a pumpkin patch. He was having the best time of his life with all the animals, and it's just amazing. Last year, couldn't care less, or he could care less. Could he? Yeah, he couldn't care less for the animals, and this year he was having the best time. So fall is here, October's here, and everything's gonna be good from now on. Hopefully, speaking it into existence, and by existence I mean God. Please
I
save
feel like
us.
I'm proud of Blanca because I feel like the thing that they don't prepare you for, guys, when you have a kid with someone is like raising them. You know, like you're different. Like you both grew up differently, and you both think differently. So you don't really, when you're gonna have a kid with someone, well, at least we didn't. We're like, oh shit, when it comes to raising the child, like we need to be on the same page, you know? Yeah. And now that he's born and he's growing and he actually understands, like we've had our bumps, you know, and we're like, but yesterday I really do appreciate when Blanca lets me have my moments with him, like with the animals. I feel like a lot of moms could easily have been, or her in the old her could have been like, no, don't let him touch their mouths. No, don't let him get too close. They have bacteria and they're dirty. No, don't let him. Ew, babe, don't let him feed the animals. That's gross. But the fact that she like let him, and I know it was kind of tough on her because luego lo agarra and she washes his hands and stuff. Me, I would have let him put his hands in his mouth so he could build up some immune system. But like, because sometimes, guys, we talked about this, and it's one of our TikToks that went the most viral. If you have a husband, right, you gotta let him be a dad. Like, just vice versa. A dad, you gotta dads out there, if you're listening to this podcast, listen up. You gotta let your wife like be the nurturing and bring out the emotional side in your kid, even if it's a boy. I know us men, we don't like to do the whole I no quiero que llore mi hijo, I don't like it. But imagine if we were all cold turkeys, like all cold, like strong men, then this world would be kind of shitty.
And most strong men that were told not to cry when they're little have anger issues.
Yeah, like me.
So yeah.
Like, it's okay. Like, don't you want like your son to be like have that loving? Like, I see Franco, and let's say if I was just raising Franco, right? Like, let's just say Blanca ditched me and left me and I was a single dad. Franco would grab those animals and play with them, but he would probably most likely punch them, grab them by the ears, bite their ears. Because when I was little, my grandpa and my uncle would do the same. They would literally put me in the back of the truck with the chivas and be like, and with my little brothers, they're like, muérdele las orejas, muérdele las orejas. And I would literally grab una chivita and bite them, and they'd be like, nah. And then I was this little crazy silver tooth kid, and I would be biting their ears, and I was scared, and gross, and deep down, and I knew in my heart, I was like, this isn't okay. Like, why am I biting this chivita? Or like when you would knock down the little calves, and like you would have to tie them, and I would knock them down and they would be all scared. And I feel like, let's just say it was just me raising Franco. He would be doing that, right?
Yeah.
But then thanks to you, babe, I see where like you do need two parents. I saw yesterday how he wasn't scared because of me. Yeah. Like he has that like manliness in him. Like, okay, I'm not scared of animals. But the way that he was so gentle and loving with them comes from you. Yeah. Like he would literally feed them, guys. And then one of the videos, if on her story that she put, you can see him like kind of like what, like good job,
like pat.
Yeah, like good job for eating my treat. Yeah. You know, like he's like so loving with them.
And like he wanted to hug them, but he was kind of nervous because they're kind of awkward. You know, he couldn't really hug them.
Yeah, you can't really hug like a neck that's down here. You know. Yeah. So because Ozo sits straight, like and Chai sits straight, so they can. But like a Chiva, their neck was all the way down there, so he couldn't really hug them, but he would if he could. And yeah, I think that's very important, guys. Hopefully, that made sense.
I saw a TikTok yesterday, I think, of a girl the hardest thing that she's had to do is step back and let her husband raise a man. And I'm like, that is going to be hard. Like right now, thankfully, like we don't have to instill those things into Franco like hard, you know, like that comes when he goes to school, when he has to respect women, when he has to be a good man. But it's like, when those times come, I'm gonna have to let Jonathan have those hard conversations with him. I'm gonna have to let him discipline him. And I don't mean hit him. Discipline doesn't mean hit. But I'm gonna have to let him discipline him like a man. And that's what a lot of people talk about. It's like, if you married your husband, it's because you think that he's a good man. So if you think he's a good man, then let him raise your son, because he's gonna raise him to be a good man. And I think that is hard, because it's your baby, you know. But thankfully, I trust Jonathan, and I trust the way that he's with Franco. And sometimes we do butt heads, and I'm like, you need to be a little bit more gentle, because he's just a baby, you know. Yeah. And thankfully we've reached that point where he knows how to be with him, to the point that Franco isn't scared of him. And he, like, if Jonathan grabs him, Franco hugs him and he like kisses him. And I'm like, that's what a lot of dads don't have, because they don't let their kids be gentle and be emotional, you know. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how Franco grows, because we were so shook yesterday. Like, he is so fearless and confident with anything. So I'm like, you just have to let him, because I did follow a lot of TikToks where you can't be like, be careful, don't do this, don't do that. Like, you just have to let him do it. And unless it's a life-threatening situation, then remove him from it, you know. So yesterday I'm just like, okay, you know. And he would like the what are they called? Chivas? The chivas would nibble his fingers, and he would just go, you know, like he wouldn't cry, he wouldn't scream, nothing. And so we let him experience that, and he had fun. He freaking stepped all over their poop. And, you know, old me would have been like, oh my God, that's so disgusting, take him out, you know. But this time I'm like, whatever, los zapatos se lavan, you know. Yeah. So that is one thing that I didn't know about being a boy mom, is that you have to let them get dirty. Like, the hands get washed, they get showered, clothes get washed, and if they rip, who cares, you know? You
gotta let, like, I know he's a boy, but you gotta let this little boy be himself, like, be a little man. Like, have you guys ever seen the movie Little Man? Yeah. Like that. You gotta let a boy, because if you take him away from those animals, if you don't let him get dirty, then that's all he's gonna know, and he's gonna get scared of it in the future, you know? Yeah. But another thing I want to talk about is, like, with this comes, like, you gotta respect your spouse's like decisions, and if it's set. Like, I know there's certain things that aren't negotiable with Blanca. That if I try to be like, no, babe, look, he's got to do this to be a man, blah blah blah. I know there's some non-negotiables like let me give you guys an example. This one's a funny one. And this is where integrity comes in. Integrity's the definition of integrity is doing the right thing when no one's looking. And sometimes Blanca will be like, babe, I bet you did this when I wasn't here, huh? Like, let him have a sweet or something. I'm like, no, if I'm going to give him a sweet, or if I'm going to let him do something, or if I'm going to maybe talk to him a certain way, it's going to be in front of you. Like, I've never done something that would, like, that was bad in front, that she's not there. Yeah, sometimes I'll give him like a freaking, una paleta payaso the other day. But like, for example, Franco, we have anyone else, I seen this on Twitter, have so many crickets and grasshoppers this year, guys. Anyways, we have so many in our backyard, and Franco is really intrigued with them, and he can be a little rough with them. So sometimes le dan las ganas de pisarlos, to squish them, to hit him with rocks. But Blanca has always taught him like to know, like, don't kill them, be gentle, because you're scared of making a serial killer. Yeah. And when I was little, I used to like make ants fight, and I used to make animals fight, and we would kill frogs and rabbits and all that. And it'd be like, look at me, I'm not a serial killer, you know? So it's like, but then I'm like, no, like, I can tell she really cares about this, so I'm not. So yesterday, Franco was about to squish a grasshopper in front of me, and I was like, fuck, fine, like, whatever. So I grabbed the grasshopper and I threw him in the grass, and I was like, okay, he's gonna go to sleep, you know? Instead of letting him finish him off, you know? But that's just, I know that's a dumb example, but it just goes to show that you gotta respect your spouse's like intentions if they truly think they're right, you know?
Yeah, especially because you guys, it's the same thing. Like, you're always working for the team. It's not like I'm against Jonathan and he's against me. We are a team, and we are working to build this tiny human into a good man one day, you know? So I was just really traumatized by the Jeffrey Dahmer series, where the dad like would let him dissect. Like, he would take him into the woods. They would find dead animals, and he would let him dissect them. And he got so intrigued that he wanted to do that with bodies, you know? So I'm like, it could be a grasshopper or it could be a person. Like, we're not gonna kill it, okay? And thankfully, I mean, I don't know where my logic stands, because I let him kill freaking spiders all the time. Yeah. But grasshoppers just feel like they're so big and
like crunchy
and like, oh, I don't know. So thankfully he's not scared of them, because he used to be. He's not scared of them anymore, but he also doesn't kill them. So we reached a good middle right there. But yeah, guys, I think we sound like broken records. It's like, you have to marry someone that's gonna be a good dad, and that's what we're always going to practice and tell you guys here, because yeah, I don't know how, because Jonathan is very understanding with me, even though he didn't grow up the way that I want to raise Franco, in a sense, because I've told Jonathan, and I've always said this, I was like, I'm very proud of the way that your mom grows or raises you guys, because his brothers, I'm very happy with like how they are, you know? And I love that Jonathan has that example. But there's some things where it's like, yeah, sometimes guys say, hey, don't cry. So that would be a non-negotiable for me. If Jonathan told Franco, if he hurt himself, don't cry, I'd be like, bruh, are you serious, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, it's just the guy knowing that, like, the one thing I always tell Jonathan is like, please know that you are Franco's safe haven. Like, if he's sad, if he's scared, if he's mad, he's gonna go to you. So be open to that, you know, because some dads just close themselves off, and then they're like, oh, why doesn't my son come visit me at Thanksgiving, you know? And it's like, it starts from the beginning. So just make sure, guys, I know it's hard, but when you're choosing a life partner, you have to put a lot of things out on the table, and that was one for me, you know?
Yeah, I've always wondered, because you know how I tell you I like to put myself in people's shoes, and I don't want to like let me get to it, like deadbeat dad.
Yeah.
I was like, I used to think like, well, I still do. It's like half and half right now. It's like, how could you, like, I look at my son and the love I have for Franco, and it's like, how would you not want this? Yeah. Like, no matter how much you don't get along with the baby mama, et cetera, it's like, how could you not want to be in this? But then I'm like, no, there has to be a reasoning. And there has to be, maybe it is the hatred for the baby mama too much. It's a hatred for something else. So ladies, if you can be in the comments, like, explain, like, maybe your baby daddy abandoned you at the beginning, and then he came back, and then he explained to you why he left you. Maybe, like, I don't know. I want to think there's an explanation. Like maybe
Yeah.
some men think the responsibility is just too big,
Yeah.
or they're truly psychopaths. Like I truly think deadbeat dads are psychopaths.
And I just think that it is big. Like for me, I think for moms, it's just programmed in your brain to be a mom. Like you just have to care for this baby that you just had, right? But like for you, don't you think it was a hard transition that you had to, and I think this also has a lot to do with Jonathan and I being at home 24/7, being with each other 24/7. Like it wasn't that Jonathan could go to work, come home, be with the baby for 2 to 3 hours before he had to go to sleep to go to work the next day. It was that we both went through this together, and Jonathan saw, and I feel like a lot of guys don't see the struggles that moms go through when they're in the postpartum phase. Jonathan saw me struggling. He saw me crying. He saw me literally through the worst part of postpartum. He saw all of that. And I feel like a lot of these guys, they're like, you know what? I'm going to work. I'm paying the bills, and that's all I have to do. And they don't see exactly what girls go through when they have a baby. So I know that it has a lot to do with that. It has a lot to do with the amount of time that they spend with the baby. And I don't know. I think that that's why it was a little bit hard on us, because at the beginning you didn't know what to do, but you were still witnessing everything.
Yeah, it was hard on me physically, but it's not like I ever didn't love my son or didn't feel a connection. Like it was just physically like I'm here. I'm supposed, like in my head, I was like, I'm supposed to be at work providing for my family. And I know what my job is, to edit and to film, and I'm still providing. But I was like, I just feel like I'm useless while Franco's crying attached to your boob and he's not pooping and he's constipated. I was like, what do? I look all stupid here just standing. I'd rather be out there freaking working under the roof of a car or something, like doing something manly. But yeah, guys, so.
Yeah, you know, I've actually done my studies.
What?
That we've interacted with a lot of people that are in the same space as us, and a lot of people that are in just not the influencer space, where they don't have to be home 24/7, where they're not with their spouse 24/7. And I've done my own study where I've asked people that are in the same space as us, do you want more kids? And they're like, yes, like we would love more kids, blah blah. And then I asked people that aren't in the space or in the like work from home area, where you are with your wife all day, with your kids all day. I mean, just kidding. These people whoa, sorry, my brain turned off.
Say it's the other way around.
The people that are in this space, they're like, no, I think 1 and done. I think 2 max, but this is freaking hard. And then I've asked people that don't stay home from work, that don't work with their spouse, and they're like, yeah, I want so many more kids. And I'm like, that's so crazy, because it's like just seeing that these people spend all postpartum from morning to night with the baby, with the mom. They see all the crazy things that happen, and then these people like that get to go to work and then come home from work, and they get to spend 3 to 4 hours with the baby and then go to sleep. So I'm like, it's so insane how different it is.
Yeah, but I also see it, babe. I've done my own research too, believe it or not, and I think it's also a double-edged sword, because I've noticed that moms that like their husband goes and leaves to work, and they're stay-at-home moms, they have no competition in the raising of their kid.
Yeah.
So they like it. They like that all day they can raise their kid how they want. They can nurture the son however they want. And then the dad just comes home. He's either the discipliner, that, hey, Jeffrey se portó mal, come say something to him. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, I'm going back to work the next morning.
Yeah.
And the mom can be there and just raise, because I can see where like I can put you in that example, and I'm like, you would kind of like it if I had no say, because you would just raise this loving, nurturing, soft, maybe lazy boy.
Yeah.
Whereas like me, I'm stronger, and I'll be like, oh, I can see where some moms are like, yeah, vete a trabajar, I'll stay with.
Yeah. I think it's hard. Also, before we had Franco, Jonathan would always tell me like, kids need their dad. They need their dad. They need their dad. They need their dad. And for me, I was like, well, I had my dad, but he wasn't a dad. Like he was more of just like a provider, basically.
Yeah.
And I never knew how much kids needed their dad until we had Franco. And I was like, oh shit. Like, yeah, of course they need a nurturing mom that is going to be there for them, that's going to love them unconditionally, that is like nothing that they can do could ever hurt the mom, could ever make the mom not care for them anymore. But it's like they need the dad to be that tough guy, to teach them how to freaking change the oil in the car, to teach them everything that I would not know, So I'm like, I've never known how much kids need a good dad in their life, So I'm like, thankfully God, Thank God I have Jonathan. Sometimes like I look at him and I'm like, damn, like he's a very good dad.
Tamencito.
Oh.
Yeah,
Pues también a veces.
Blanca the other day, she looked at me, she's like, babe, what you say? I'm excited for you to be a dad.
Yeah.
Well, like
a teenage dad.
A teenage dad, because guys, because now, like, I'm not gonna get too much into stuff, but like her sisters have been living with us a little bit, so, and they have straight A's because I helped them with their homework, and I like not just forget the actual helping, I just get their mind right, and I'm like, look, it's easy. You just got to do this and this, and you're gonna have an awesome life. And then they're like, yeah, why do I complicate it? And I was like, I can't wait to be a teenage dad so I can tell my son, like, I don't know, like sometimes I'll tell the girl something, and then I'll be like, babe, like I can't wait to have, like, I want a daughter, like it's so cool. And then the other days I'll be fighting with them, and I'll tell Julissa, I'll be like, I don't want a girl. Like, hell no. They'll like gang up on me and roast the shit out of me and be so mean to me. But then they're like loving, and they're like sweet and funny. So it's like, oh wow, like it's just, life is fun, guys, and you just got to make the best out of it.
You got to make it fun, because life can be very hard as well. So yeah, I don't know, guys. The best thing we can preach is to find a good dad in your husband, and if he isn't, that is a major red flag. Please leave.
Yeah, hopefully we influenced good enough on this
bit.
podcast to end it, guys. We appreciate you sticking around. Hopefully we didn't start just speaking gibberish at the end, but look, if our words can just hit one person, and I know podcasts like Call Her Daddy and Joe Rogan are so much more interesting, and or like have millions and millions of viewers. But at the end of the day, no, Joe Rogan, leave my Joe Rogan out of this. I learn a lot of stuff from him every day. I'm going to just talk about Call Her Daddy, about if she's going to teach you how to freaking do a blowjob, like
look 300.
I'm like, man, if you, one of you guys can at least get something from ours positive, like that's fine with me, okay? Like, and I hope you guys are just trying to be better every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
guys, we'll see you next week. Comment who you think is going to come visit us, and make sure you follow us on Instagram, both her and I, so you guys can see
who it is.
I'll probably be posting from my perspective, like mile 1, mile 13, mile 12, and then you can probably see me if it's a loop, like, oh, he's doing good, he's not dead yet.
Darn.
That'd be awesome. But yeah, guys, we love you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Later.
Yay Networks.